Section 2 in interactions in ecosystems is all about the flow of energy and also the cycling of matter in an ecosystem. So the first thing we're going to look at are the types of organisms. We're going to classify them. And we're going to look, first of all, at producers. I guess, first of all, we've got these three main types of organisms. There's producers, who make their own food, and consumers that eat other organisms to get their energy, and decomposers, which are technically consumers, but decomposers are very, very important in that they feed on dead and waste materials to return nutrients back into the soil. And that will kind of lead us into the cycling of matter a little bit later on. But anyways, I'm going to talk first of all about producers. Producers are organisms that make their own food, and they do so in the process of photosynthesis. So green plants, for the most part, as well. Algae falls into that category as well. And there's also some bacteria that are photosynthetic as well. So this picture here illustrates what a plant needs in order to do photosynthesis, in order to make their own food. They need water, which they get from the ground mostly. They also need carbon dioxide right here, which is part of the air that we breathe. And they need light energy. Okay, those are the three things that plants need in order to make their own food. This over here, where it's got oxygen, plants will give off oxygen, and that's why we love them so much. We need oxygen, and yeah, they help us with that, most definitely. So this is what the formula looks like down here. We've got carbon dioxide plus water, and then we need an energy source, and that's where the light is. So we sprinkle in a little bit of sunshine, and that allows the plant to make food for itself. Now, it also in that process makes oxygen, and it releases, for the most part, it releases that oxygen into the atmosphere. And again, that's where we benefit. That's how we benefit. One of the ways in which we benefit from plants. Okay, so that's photosynthesis. That's all there is. As long as a plant has carbon dioxide, water, and energy from a light source, it can make its own food. Wouldn't that be awesome? Okay. Now, just a couple of details about that. There's some structures inside the cells of a plant. So inside the cells of this plant here, there are structures that aren't found in animal cells. There are structures called chloroplasts. And this is the place inside of those plant cells where photosynthesis occurs. Okay, so that's the poop on photosynthesis. Now, it wouldn't be good if I talked about photosynthesis without talking about cellular respiration as well. Now, we are not plants, obviously, most of us. We don't make our own food. Plants make their own food. We are consumers right here. We're consumers. We eat other things in order to get our energy. But the plant and us still can't get the energy that's in that food. So this food right here, our cells can't access it, whether we're plants or whether we're humans or dogs or whatever. We can't use that energy unless this happens in our cells, cellular respiration. Okay, so again, this happens in our cells, happens in the cells of plants, and it also happens in our cells as well. In cellular respiration, we take sugar, whatever it is that is our food source, and oxygen. And if we have those two things present, that will create carbon dioxide, water, which we give off mostly. That's one of the materials, and some of it is just given off. And here's the kicker, though. This is why we do cellular respiration, because it helps us make energy. Okay, so that's the purpose of cellular respiration. So plants do cellular respiration as well as us, animals. Okay, and yeah, I think I'll stop there. Now, I'm going to end the video here real quick, but what I want you to do is I want you to fill out this chart, or try to, just verbally, and I want you to start with photosynthesis. What are the materials that plants need in order to make their own food? You can go back to this section right here. The first part in this equation here are the materials, and what's produced are the products. Okay, so here's the stuff for cellular respiration. These are the materials, and these are the products. So what you can do now is just spend a little bit of time and try to hammer out, okay, do I know the materials for photosynthesis? Do I know the products? And same for cellular respiration. And if you do that and spend a little bit of time with it, you will notice that there is something that photosynthesis and cellular respiration have in common, and it's pretty significant.